It's May recap time, and what a month. There has been a lot of changes happening in my life, trying desperately to improve things. I quit working at the beauty supply store that I was working at. There was just a lot of micromanaging happening, and honestly, it really felt like being picked on, and I just don't really like that. That's obviously not a great work environment. So I quit. There was impossible sales goals, and it kept getting more and more. It's once you reach the sales goal, they would just increase it, of course. So I don't know, just being there started getting really stressful. I liked the job, I liked my coworkers, I had a lot of really nice customers that I really liked. I love customer service. But just as soon as I started feeling like there was unnecessary stress, I was like, you know what? I quit. I don't need to be here. So that's exactly what happened, really. I actually had a customer who made me cry. This wasn't my breaking point or anything, but it was just it's a beauty supply store. Chill out. Don't act like a freak. What's wrong with you? There's always weird customers. Always, no matter where you are. And I'm so sensitive. I take everything personally. But it was crazy because I'm pretty sure she was shoplifting. That wasn't even my assumption when I was helping her, but then after the whole interaction, I was like, yeah, that's pretty suspicious. So she was carrying around a bunch of little tiny items, and I was just doing my job. First, I greeted her and I was like, hey, is there anything I can help you with? You doing okay? Whatever. And then once I realized she had all these little things, I was like, do you want me to put anything up at cash for you? Just to take it off her hands. She got so mad at me and she was like, stop following me around, find something better to do. I'm not some local celebrity, blah blah blah. And I was so caught off guard. It was actually kind of funny now that I think about it, but I was so caught off guard, and it was just she came at me and I was just oh my god, so unnecessary. So I was I went and cried in the back, but now I can kind of laugh about it. But definitely had some unique experiences working there. I'm gonna miss my coworkers a little bit, but oh well, it is what it is. I feel like I made the right choice, I hope, just because I don't want to keep myself in just an unnecessarily stressful situation. I really prefer having multiple jobs and gig work instead of doing a full-time position. So thankfully I'm not unemployed, even though I quit my little part-time job that was giving me most of my hours. I still have about 3 casual jobs at the moment. So I got to be Cinderella for a big event with a couple other princesses, and that was really fun. I also got to play Anna from Frozen for the first time, and that was also fun. I had an opportunity to do a catering sort of gig with my friend, and it was at an art gallery, which was really cool. I love museums and art and all that type of stuff. So even though I was just there as staff, it was a really cool experience that I'm thankful for. I got to shadow an in-person grief group for the first time, because I'm volunteering to be a facilitator for the groups. I've never actually been to a grief group before this, so it's kind of a new thing for me. It's really cool. I had to stop myself from being overly positive, because if you go to a grief group, you're kind of there to be sad and to express your grief, and I didn't want to be all annoying, smiling and happy. Definitely there to support people, and I didn't want to come across as too much or just not doing the right thing. So I was hold my tongue a little bit and just let people be, let them feel supported. And I'm just really honored to be able to do that and get that experience and support people. And I'm actually kind of interested in doing some volunteer work at a hospice or something. So I went on a tour with my grandparents. We went to 2 different hospices, and it was just really interesting to get to experience that and see what it's kind of about. I'd never been inside of a hospice. I'd never really I know about hospices, wanting to work with grief and death and stuff, but I'd never been in a hospice. So this was an interesting kind of learning experience for me, and I was really glad that I got to be there to support my grandparents through such a difficult thing. End of life decisions are not easy. So it was really nice to be able to do that and be there for them, as well as learning more for myself. And then we went out to lunch after, just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit from such a emotionally heavy morning. So it was a pretty good day. My thanatology certificate actually arrived in the mail finally, so I was really, really happy to finally have that. Feels a little bit more official now that I did that whole thing, and I think my parents were pretty proud of me. We celebrated with like cake and ice cream and stuff, and that really meant a lot to me to celebrate that. And I actually signed up for another sort of like online course thing to be a bereavement doula specializing in miscarriages. And it's just kind of like a go at my own pace, like casual thing. But I figured that's a nice kind of specialty certificate to get, especially from my own experiences and that type of thing. It's something that I want to be able to help people with, and it's in my field and all that good stuff. So yeah, I feel like I'm trying to make a lot of decisions that kind of further my career in that regard, with like volunteer work and just experience, you know, like I want to help people, so I'm trying to do that. Mother's Day did feel a little bit complicated for me just because I'm not really recognized as a mom, and since the relationship with my ex ended, I've missed his mom a lot, but I spent some time with my own mom and we got Taco Bell and stuff, and it was a pretty good day overall, despite being a little bit challenging. I have been pretty mentally unwell lately, if I'm being honest. May is always a difficult month for me, and I've just been a little bit extra triggered, I guess. I don't know. I've been really struggling with like complex PTSD type stuff, so that's not fun at all, but I'm trying to take steps in the right direction to fix some of that, resolve some of that. I've actually started seeing an in-person therapist now. I had been seeing an online counselor for a little bit, but now I'm kind of going in for a little bit more intense stuff, I guess. She seems very qualified, and she's already given me some pretty good guidance, and we've only had like 2 sessions so far, but I'm really trying to make the most of it and really wanting to keep seeing her. I actually kind of debated doing like inpatient treatment because I was like really feeling not okay. I think I'm past that now. I'm doing a little bit better now. But you know, it's always something that's kind of an option, I guess, if I feel like things are really not right. I've never really wanted to be medicated for my mental health. I've always wanted to just tough through it and figure myself out and just handle it, but I'm getting to a point where I'm realizing that's not possible, really. Like, I'm doing my best and it's still not good enough. I'm still struggling. So I'm actually going to talk to my doctor about getting on some mental health medication. I don't really know what's going to go all into that, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm really hoping it'll be able to help me. I've really been doing a lot of like extensive self-help work and just trying to process a lot of my past trauma and stuff, because it's been manifesting itself in different destructive ways in my life, and I wasn't like intentionally trying to ruin my life or anything, and then I realized that it was still headed in that direction, which was just really scary. I was worried I was gonna like unintentionally end up like dead, like killing myself, just with the decisions that I felt like I was making. So quite literally scared the hell out of myself, realizing that. So really trying to make things better now. I quit smoking weed because I felt like I was smoking so much weed that I was just completely numb. I didn't feel anything. I felt like I was dealing with depersonalization. So quit smoking weed, quit watching porn, quit masturbating, quitting self-harm in all kinds of different ways. That's a really loaded up topic there. No more mindless scrolling on my phone. I truly just want to be healthy in my mind, my body, and my spirit, and it's a lot of work, but I really don't see any other way, you know, unless I want to keep struggling and keep suffering. I have to get better. I have to put in the work. I'm very determined right now. So my time in the adult industry is kind of coming to an end, because it is definitely detrimental to my health and well-being. I don't fully know what that means yet though, so I'm so sorry for kind of being all over the place with that stuff. I've been like kind of uploading, kind of not. Like, I've been avoiding it, quite honestly, because it just stresses me out so much and it just makes me feel not good. So I will be updating my website soon to reflect my decisions moving forward, even though I don't fully know what it is yet still. And I always really just try and be transparent with you guys. So I've just been really struggling with figuring myself out. So once I figure myself out, I'll let you know. I always appreciate your understanding and your support, and I will upload a video on here going further into details about what my plan is moving forwards and all that. So that's kind of tricky. I really still don't know what's going on, so just stay tuned for an update video on that, and I'll do my best to continue to be transparent with you guys. Side note, I can't log into my Cameo account for whatever reason, so I'm really sorry about that. I hope I can get that figured out soon. I think it's like some problem with like my email or something or other. I've got no idea, but I would really like to figure that out soon. So I hope you guys don't think I'm like too crazy or anything, but I've started reading the Bible and watching different preachers and sermons pretty much every day. I've always been spiritual and I've remained spiritual pretty much my whole life, but my relationship with God stopped being a priority of mine for a while without me even really realizing it. Like I thought I was doing okay, so then I just stopped caring about that, I guess. Like I was like, it's good enough. It's not good enough. So, I'm so thankful for the love of God always being with me and helping me through my hardest times. And I really just want to keep seeking that and having a relationship with God because I want to be okay and I want to be the best, healthiest version of myself that I possibly can. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of work, but my faith has always been something that has really helped me through hard times and just through life in general. So I really want to hold on to that. I know some people might think it's a little bit silly, like the crystals and like magic rocks or whatever, but I really like them. And what I've been doing is I have a big collection, and just anytime I leave my house, I intuitively grab whichever crystal is speaking to me and I bring it with me in my bag, and then I switch them out interchangeably. And I don't know, it's just a fun little silly comforting ritual, I guess, that I've been doing, and I really like it. So aside from being mentally unwell, I was also sick with like the flu or something for a little bit, and that always sucks, but I kind of took advantage of the nice weather. I was like napping outside, and that was really nice at least. And I love having like backyard fires and stuff, so I've been wanting to do more of that. I have a funny story. This has nothing to really do with me, but someone else who must have been enjoying the weather. I saw this dude riding a bike. Okay, that's normal. And I'm not even trying to be judgmental or anything, but his entire butt was pretty much out on his bike, and he was wearing like thong underwear. So he must have been feeling a breeze. He must have been feeling pretty good. I just thought it was so funny. Did not expect to see some guy with his butt out on his bike, but that's life, I guess. I finally got my G1 license, which I guess is kind of like a learner's permit. It's G1, G2, and then full G here in Canada. So I'm really happy about that. I had my G1 before, and then I let it expire because I was just so nervous about driving, and I really couldn't get over it, I guess. I'd get behind the wheel and I'd start crying. But I'm really determined this time around to do the full thing, practice driving, get my full license sooner rather than later, hopefully. So that feels good that I did that. It did take me 2 tries, but I was like, I'm not leaving this place without getting my G1. So I did it. And then I actually went on like a little date to this Italian place, and I had like the best pasta ever, and that was just to kind of celebrate me finally getting my G1, so that was really, really nice. And I hung out with my cousin a little bit this month. We went to like this kind of cool like retro vintage market thing, and it was in a parking garage. It was pretty cool. I bought some stuff. Probably shouldn't have bought it, but it was part of the experience. It was kind of fun, kind of interesting. There was like some guy that was doing magic tricks, and I was like mind blown. It was kind of raining, but like because it was in a parking garage, it was like sort of covered. Interesting experience nonetheless. And then we also actually went to see Pierce the Veil. They had free concert tickets. They brought me along. I'm so happy about that. I actually really like Pierce the Veil. Like, I used to be like really super emo. Still kind of am, I guess. So that was really awesome. It was like Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, and one other band. I don't remember who they were. My bad. But it was a really great concert. I ended up spending like $40 on like a tall can of beer and like a piece of pizza, but the ticket was free in the first place, so I was like, it balances out, it's fine, it's part of the experience. So super grateful for that. So overall, kind of chaotic month. I had a lot going on, good stuff, bad stuff, that's life. But I always do my best to remain thankful for my life and my experiences, good and bad. So yeah, hopefully next month I'll have a little bit of a better update for you guys. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out what my plan is moving forwards with my online career type stuff, and I'll let you know as soon as I know. But in the meantime, I guess feel free to ask any questions, leave comments. I'm over here doing my best, and I'm always super appreciative of your support. So thank you guys. Hope you guys had a good month. Thanks for watching. Bye.